What if I told you the most profitable plants in America aren't corn, soybeans, or even cannabis, but plants that nobody is growing? I'm talking about crops that sell for $80 a pound, $500 a pound, even $5,000 a pound, all while Big Ag ignores them completely. One farmer I know makes more money on a quarter acre of saffron than most people make on 100 acres of corn. Another turned his shady backyard woods into a six-figure ginseng operation while he slept. And the crazy part? You can start some of these in your basement, on a balcony, or in that patch of woods behind your house. Today I'm revealing 17 forgotten plants that are quietly making regular people millionaires. And I've saved 3 of the most explosive ones, crops most people have never even considered growing, for later in the video. If you've ever felt like farming is rigged against you, stick around. Because we're about to print some money with plants. Look, traditional farming is broken. Commodity prices are down, input costs are up, and you're competing with mega farms running on razor-thin margins. But there's a loophole. The USDA doesn't track these crops. Wall Street doesn't invest in them. Big Ag can't mechanize them. China can't mass-produce them. They need human hands, small plots, and smart growers. That's you. Today we're covering 17 plants. I've split them into 4 groups: the medicinal gold mines, the exotic spices, the superfood trees, and the fast cash greens. For each one, I'll give you the price per pound, how long to harvest, the startup reality, and who is buying it right now. And if you make it to the end, I'll show you 3 crops so underutilized right now that early movers could literally own their state supply. Let's get into it. Number 1. American ginseng, the millionaire maker. $300, $1,000, $200. LB. American ginseng. This isn't the stuff in energy drinks. I'm talking about wild simulated Panax quinquefolius. Mature roots sell for $300 to $1,000 per pound. The really old gnarly roots? Collectors in Asia pay $500 to $1,200 per pound. Why so much? Because it takes 5 to 7 years to mature. Big farms can't wait that long. They need cash crops every season. But you plant it once under a hardwood forest canopy and walk away. It's called forest farming. You rake leaves aside, plant seeds, cover them back up. No tilling, no irrigation, no fertilizer. The forest does the work. Here's the math that blows people's minds. On 1 acre of woods, you can plant 20,000 seeds. Even with 50% survival, that's 10,000 plants. At just half a pound per plant after 7 years, that's 5,000 pounds. At $600 per pound, that's $3 million. Not everyone hits 3 million, but even 10% of that is 300 grand from land that was sitting idle. Who buys it? Supplement companies, traditional Chinese medicine shops, and private exporters. Wild simulated ginseng grown in real forest soil tests higher for ginsenicides than field-grown. Buyers know it. They pay for it. The barrier? Patience and poachers. But if you're in your 30s or 40s and you plant this year, you're setting up a retirement payout that beats a 401k. Number 2. Saffron red gold. $500. $5,000. LB. Saffron. Real saffron, not the fake stuff. This is the most expensive spice on earth. $500 to $5,000 per pound. Each flower gives you 3 tiny red stigmas. You need 75,000 flowers to make 1 pound. And it's all harvested by hand, at dawn, for 2 weeks a year. Sounds impossible? Here's why it's not. You don't need a pound. A quarter acre produces about 6 pounds. At $1,500 per pound wholesale, that's $9,000 on a quarter acre, in 6 weeks of work per year. Saffron corms cost 25 to 50 cents each. Plant in August, they flower in October, harvest for 2 weeks, done until next year. The corms multiply underground. Your patch gets bigger for free every single season. Grows in USDA zones 6 through 9. That's most of the United States. It hates wet feet, so raised beds or sandy soil is perfect. Who buys it? High-end restaurants, spice importers, supplement companies making mood and eye health formulas, and direct-to-consumer buyers on Etsy. People buy 1-gram jars for $10 to $15. That's $4,500 to $6,800 per pound retail. The barrier is labor. You need pickers at 6 a.m. But at these margins, you can afford to pay $20 an hour and still get rich. Quick question before we keep going. Which sounds better to you so far, waiting 7 years for ginseng to pay 300 grand or harvesting saffron every year for 9 grand on a quarter acre? Comment below, ginseng or saffron. I read every single comment and I want to see where this audience leans. Also stay with me, because crops 15, 16, and 17 are ones almost nobody in the US is growing commercially right now. If you leave early, you miss the biggest opportunity on this list. Keep watching. Number 3. Ashwagandha, the supplement boom. $25, $60, LB dried root. If you've been in a vitamin shop in the last 2 years, you've seen it everywhere. Stress, sleep, testosterone, thyroid, it's in everything. Dried root sells for $25 to $60 per pound wholesale. And here's the kicker. 90% of US supply is imported from India. Supplement companies are desperate for domestic, organic, traceable supply. They'll pay a premium for grown in USA. It's annual. Plant in spring. Harvest roots in fall. 6 months. Seed to cash. It likes heat and doesn't need much water once established. Perfect for Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Southern California. Yield is 800 to 1,200 pounds of dried root per acre. Even at $30 a pound, that's $24,000 to $36,000 per acre. From a plant that practically grows like a weed. Who buys it? Star West Botanicals, Mountain Rose Herbs, Gaia Herbs, and hundreds of smaller supplement brands. You don't need to bottle it yourself. Sell bulk dried root and let them do the rest. Number 4. Go-To Cola Brain Bucks. $30, $60, LB dried leaf. This one is sneaky profitable because it hits 2 markets simultaneously, nootropics and skincare. As a dried herb for brain supplements, it sells for $30 to $60 per pound. As a fresh extract for anti-aging cosmetics, companies pay even more. Low-growing ground cover, loves shade and moisture, grows like mint. You can harvest leaves 3 to 4 times per year. In Florida, Georgia, or a greenhouse, it's perennial. The nootropic market wants it for memory and focus. The cosmetics market wants it because it boosts collagen production. Same plant, 2 buyers, double demand. 1 acre can produce 2,000 plus pounds of dried leaf annually with multiple cuts. At $40 a pound, that's $80,000 gross. Number 5. Golden Seal and Black Cohosh Forest Pharmacy. Golden Seal, $30, $100, LB. Black Cohosh, $10, $30, LB. I'm grouping these two because they grow together. Both are native woodland medicinals. Both are on the at-risk list, meaning wild harvesting is restricted. Cultivated supply? Buyers pay a serious premium. They grow in the same shady forests as ginseng. Plant them together. Forest farming again, 3 to 5 years to harvest. Supplement companies are now legally required to show sustainable sourcing. If you can document that you grew it, you own the premium tier of this market. United Plant Savers even connects growers directly to buyers. Number 6. Sichuan Pepper Chef's Secret. $40, $80, LB dried husks. Now we get into the exotics. Sichuan pepper. Not a true pepper, it's the husk of a tiny fruit that makes your mouth tingle. Chefs are obsessed with it. $40 to $80 per pound for dried husks. And here's the insane part. There is zero domestic commercial production. Every bag in the US is imported from China. It grows on a small tree, hardy to zone 5. You can grow this in Pennsylvania or Michigan. Starts producing in year 3, full production by year 6. 1 mature tree gives 8 to 12 pounds of husks. Plant 100 trees on an acre. At 10 pounds per tree, that's 1,000 pounds. At $50 a pound, that's $50,000 per acre from trees that just sit there. Who buys it? Every high-end Asian restaurant, spice companies like Burlap and Barrel, and home cooks hunting for it on Amazon. Number 7. Wasabi Green Gold. $80, $160, LB Wholesale, $4,500, LB Graded Retail. Crop 7, is wasabi. Real wasabi. Not that green horseradish paste you've been eating with sushi. Real wasabi rhizome sells for $80 to $160 per pound wholesale. Grated fresh at a sushi bar? $10 per gram. That's $4,500 per pound. Why so rare? It only grows in cold, flowing, mountain stream water or perfectly controlled hydroponics. Japan produces 75% of global supply. The U.S. imports almost all of it. But farms in Oregon, North Carolina, and British Columbia are cracking the code. Shaded, 5 to 70-degree water, 2 years to maturity. One plant yields 1 to 2 pounds. At $100 a pound, 200 plants in a greenhouse is $20,000 to $40,000. And any sushi restaurant that wants to advertise real wasabi needs you. All right, pause. We're halfway through. If just one of these plants could replace your day job, which one would you try first? Comment I'm IN and the crop name. I want to see which one is most popular, and I'll do a deep dive video on the top pick next month. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. This channel is all about high profit, low competition farming secrets. No corn prices, no soybean futures. Just $80 a pound. Plants. Subscribe so you don't miss crop 15, 16, and 17. Those are dropping something you haven't seen anywhere else on this platform. Let's keep going. Number 8. Moringa, the miracle tree. Dried leaf, $20, $40. LB. Oil, $30, $50. Oz. Moringa oleifera, the miracle tree. This one is insane because it's 5 revenue streams from a single plant. Leaves sell for $20 to $40 per pound dried as superfood powder. Seeds go for planting or moringa oil, which retails at $30 to $50 per ounce. Fresh pods sell to Indian and African communities in every major U.S. city, and cosmetic-grade oil commands even more. It grows 10 to 15 feet in one season. In zones 9 to 11, it's perennial. In colder zones, grow it as an annual or in a hoop house and harvest leaves every 6 weeks. 1 acre can produce 3,000 plus pounds of dried leaf per year. At $25 a pound, that's $75,000, and that's just the leaves. Who buys it? Supplement brands, health food stores, the Nigerian and Indian diaspora community across every U.S. city, and Amazon customers searching for superfoods. Number 9. Elderberry Immune System Cash. Fresh $2, $4, LB, syrup, adds 4-8x value. Elderberry blew up in 2020 and never slowed down. The immune support category is permanent now. Fresh or frozen berries go for $2 to $4 per pound wholesale, 6 to 10 retail at farmers markets, but the real money is in elderberry syrup. 8 ounces sells for $16 to $30. 1 pound of berries makes about 2 bottles. That's $32 to $60 per pound of berries if you process it yourself. Bush's produce in year 2, full production by year 4, 12,000 to 15,000 pounds per acre. Even at $3 a pound wholesale, that's 36,000 to 45,000 per acre. Wineries buy it, juicers buy it, herbalists buy it. Local hospitals are now buying elderberry syrup from small farms for their gift shops. It's everywhere. Number 10. Pawpaw, America's forgotten fruit. $3, $8, LB, $4, $6 per fruit. Pawpaw, the largest edible fruit native to North America, tastes like banana mango custard, and almost nobody is selling it commercially. Why? It doesn't ship. Ripe fruit lasts 2 days. Grocery stores can't handle it, which means zero supermarket competition for you at the farmer's market. Chefs go crazy for it. Breweries make pawpaw beer. Ice cream shops want it for limited runs. Trees take 5 to 8 years to fruit, but once producing, 1 tree gives 25 to 50 pounds. Plant 100 trees per acre. This is a build-the-market crop. You create demand by showing up with something nobody else has. Number 11. Sea buckthorn soil repairing superfruit. Berries $4, $8, LB. Oil $200 liter. Sea buckthorn is a thorny shrub that fixes nitrogen and produces a berry with oil worth $200 per liter. The berry is sour but loaded with omega-7 fatty acids, Juice, oil, and cosmetics markets all buy it. Cold hardy to zone 3, meaning you can grow this in Alaska. Yield is 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per acre. Berries sell for $4 to $8 per pound fresh. The oil commands significantly more. The bonus nobody talks about, it repairs bad soil. Plant it on your worst ground, earn money while it heals the land underneath it. Number 12. Culinary Lavender Chef's Gold. Dried buds, $20, $40. LB. Oil, $25, $30. Oz. Not the soap stuff. Culinary lavender. Varieties like Provence or Royal Velvet. Gourmet dried buds sell for $20 to $40 per pound. Essential oil runs $25 to $30 per ounce, and 1 pound of buds makes about 1 ounce of oil. That's $400 to $480 per pound of buds if you distill it yourself. Lavender loves dry, rocky, alkaline soil. The worse your soil, the better it grows. 1 acre fits 3,000 plants. Each plant gives 1 to 3 pounds of buds by year 3. Buyers, bakeries, ice cream makers, cocktail bars, tea companies, and wedding planners ordering by the pound for decoration. Multiple revenue streams from one harvest. Number 13. Microgreens. Basement Millionaire. $20, $50. LB. $500 plus per week from 40 CQ feet. Fastest cash on this entire list. Microgreens. Sunflower, pea, radish, broccoli shoots. Harvest in 7 to 14 days. Sell for $6 to $10 per ounce retail, $20 to $50 per pound. Restaurants buy 5 to 20 pounds per week without blinking. You can run this from a spare bedroom, basement, or shipping container. 10 trays on a rack equals 20 pounds per week. At $25 a pound, that's $500 per week. $2,000 per month. $24,000 a year. From 40 square feet. The barrier is sales. You have to walk into restaurants with samples. But once a chef uses your microgreens, they reorder every single week. That's recurring revenue with zero advertising. Number 14. Yaupon Holly America's Caffeine. $40, $70. LB. Dried tea leaf. The sleeper on the list. Yaupon Holly, the only caffeinated plant native to North America. Native Americans drank it for 1,000 years. Then, colonizers rebranded everything, and we forgot it existed. Now, it's making a comeback. Dried yaupon, leaf for tea, $40 to $70 per pound. It tastes like yerba mate, but smoother. No jitters, no crash. It's literally a landscaping shrub. Grows from Texas to Virginia. Drought-proof. No pests. Harvest leaves year-round. Dry them, sell them. Companies like Yaupon Brothers and Cat Spring Yaupon are building the market, but supply is still tiny. You could own your state supply right now. 1 acre of yaupon hedge produces 1,000 plus pounds of dried tea per year. At $50 a pound, that's $50,000 from a plant that landscapers literally pay to remove. All right, 14 down. You've been patient. These next 3 are the ones I mentioned at the top. These are not trendy. They're not sexy. But the profit windows on all 3 are wide open right now, and they won't stay that way for long. In 5 years, the early movers on these crops will be the ones teaching the next generation of specialty farmers. Let's go. Number 15. Vanilla, the world's second most expensive spice. $300, $600. LB cured beans. And before you say, that's too hard, hear me out, because the numbers will change your mind. Vanilla is the second most expensive spice on earth, behind only saffron. Cured vanilla beans sell for $300 to $600 per pound wholesale. Premium single-origin beans go higher. Madagascar controls 80% of global supply, which means one bad weather season sends prices through the roof. And it does, regularly. Here's what almost nobody knows. Vanilla orchids can be grown in U.S. greenhouses, climate-controlled hoop houses, or outdoors in USDA zones 10 and 11 South Florida, Hawaii, Southern California, Puerto Rico. The vanilla orchid is a climbing vine. It blooms once a year, and each flower must be hand-pollinated within 12 hours of opening. That's the work. After that, the bean cures for 6 months. Yes, it takes 3 years for first harvest, but once a plant starts producing, it keeps producing for decades. Yield is 1 to 2 pounds per vine at maturity. 50 vines in a greenhouse is 50 to 100 pounds. At $400 per pound, that's $20,000 to $40,000 from a structure smaller than a tennis court. Who buys it? Artisan bakers, premium ice cream brands, craft cocktail suppliers, and extract companies that can't find domestic supply at any price. Grown in USA, vanilla commands a premium that imported Madagascar beans simply cannot match right now. The barrier is patience and pollination timing, but for the grower willing to learn the rhythm, vanilla is a 30-year annuity hiding in a flower. Number 16. Turmeric Domestic Gold, under your feet. Fresh, $5, $12. LB. Organic dried powder, $15, $40. LB. You've seen it in every grocery store. You've seen it in lattes, supplements, dog food, skincare. It's in everything. The global turmeric market is worth over $3 billion annually. And here's the thing, almost all of it comes from India. Domestic supply in the US is nearly zero. Fresh turmeric root sells for $5 to $12 per pound at farmers markets. Organic dried and powdered, $15 to $40 per pound wholesale. And grown in USA organic turmeric from supplement brands, they are paying 3 to 4 times the import price because consumers are demanding traceable, clean sourcing. It grows in zones 7 through 11 as a perennial, or anywhere in the US as an annual with a long growing season. It likes rich, well-drained soil and consistent moisture. Plant rhizomes in spring, harvest in fall when leaves die back. 1 pound of seed rhizomes produces 8 to 10 pounds of fresh root. On a quarter acre, you can yield 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of fresh root. Dried down to powder, that's 400 to 600 pounds. At $20 per pound wholesale, that's $8,000 to $12,000. But direct to consumer or through a supplement brand, you double or triple that number easily. Who buys it? Every supplement brand in the US would rather source domestically right now. Whole Foods buyers, natural grocers, health food stores, and customers at farmers markets who pick it up every single week without fail. Turmeric is not a trend, it's a permanent shift in how Americans eat and supplement. The barrier is processing. You need a root washer and a dehydrator, $500 in equipment, and you're operational at scale. Number 17. Stinging Nettle, the silent superfood millionaire. Dried herb, $10, $30. LB. Extract, $60, $100. LB. And this might be the most underrated plant on the entire list, stinging nettle. I know what you're thinking. The weed that burns your skin? Yes, that one. And it's making serious money for the people who figured this out. Dried nettle leaf sells for $10 to $30 per pound. Nettle extract, the concentrated form used in prostate health, joint, and allergy supplements, goes for $60 to $100 per pound. Nettle seed, which is just now exploding in the adaptogen market, commands $40 to $80 per pound. Here's why this is the opportunity. Nettle grows on almost any soil in almost any U.S. climate. It's a zone 3 to 9 perennial. It comes back every year, gets bigger every year, and spreads on its own. You plant it once and it multiplies. You can harvest it 2 to 3 times per growing season. Yield is 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of dried leaf per acre annually. At $15 per pound average, that's $15,000 to $30,000 per acre, with almost zero input costs after year 1. Who buys it? Supplement companies, herbal tea brands. The natural food market for fresh nettle as a cooking green, it tastes like spinach once blanched. Skincare brands use nettle extract in shampoos and scalp treatments. Even livestock farmers buy it as a feed supplement. The barrier is harvest. You need gloves. Seriously, that's it. Gloves and a scythe. This plant practically runs itself. And here's the kicker nobody talks about. Nettles are a companion plant. They improve soil, attract beneficial insects, and increase the essential oil content in herbs grown nearby. You could plant nettles on your hedgerows while your main crop grows in the center, earning income from land that was just sitting there as a border. The grower who commits 2 acres to nettle right now builds a relationship with one supplement brand and processes consistently will have a waiting list for their crop within 3 years. There you have it. 17 forgotten plants that sell for $10,000 to $5,000 per pound. Remember, the answer isn't more acreage. It's the right crop. Big Ag can't grow these. China can't fake these. They need you. So here's my question. Which one are you planting this year? Comment below with your USDA grow zone and the crop you're most excited about. I'll reply with a tip specific to your area. And if you want to see a full deep dive on any of the new crops, vanilla, turmeric, or stinging nettle, comment the name and I'll build the video around the one with the most requests. If you got value from this, subscribe right now. See you in the next one.